Hello, nice to have you join us on Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Today we'll be taking a look at the northwestern region of the country. But before we get into that, let's have a look at the top stories making the rounds at the moment. The People's Democratic Party PDP Governors Forum has instructed feuding members of the party to maintain status quo. The directive was given by the chairman of the forum, who is also the Bauchi State Governor, Bala Mohammed, after a meeting of the governors which ended in the early hours of Tuesday. Mr. Mohammed said, as a political party, the PDP is bound to have disputes among members, but those challenges can always be resolved. On Friday, Federal High Court in Abuja barred the PDP National Executive Committee (NEC) from removing Mr. Umar Damagum as the acting national chairman of the party. The court's judgment came after the suspension and counter-suspension crisis rocked the party, causing an uproar. We start off in Sokoto State, where the state governor, Ahmed Aliyu, has inaugurated a state monitoring committee and local government coordinators to oversee the sales of grains and other foodstuffs at a 55% discount. This initiative is designed to help mitigate the effects of the current economic challenges in the country. The state government has allocated 14 billion naira to purchase food items, which will be sold to citizens at subsidized prices. This move is part of the government's efforts to provide relief to residents affected by rising costs.
The Sokoto State Governor, Mr. Ahmed Aliyu, inaugurates a state monitoring committee and local government coordinators to ensure smooth sales of grains and other foodstuff at a 55% discount. This initiative aims to reduce the impact of the current economic hardship in the country. In response to the prevailing economic challenges, the state government had earlier set aside 14 billion naira to buy and resell food items at subsidized rates.
And I'm so glad, Your Excellency, you mentioned that this commodity is for all. Political issues are not there. We appreciate that you are standing very close. Your Excellency, you have given us a free hand to operate, and inshallah, we will not deviate.
The governor expresses confidence that the appointed committee members and coordinators will ensure a transparent and efficient distribution process. He also reaffirms the government's commitment to easing the burden of citizens during these challenging times.
The state government is committed to sustaining the supply of the commodities to all the 244 wards in the state, with guaranteed access to all families, irrespective of any social differences and all political affiliation. I would like to assure all that the initiative will be sustained until when the economic situation improves in the country.
This initiative is part of broader efforts by the Sokoto State government to cushion the effect of the current economic situation.
As the war on banditry continues, the Minister of State for Defense, Mr. Bello Matawale, has called on governors in Nigeria's northwest region to sustain the support for the fight against banditry in the region. The minister made the call after a tour of various communities where military operations against banditry are ongoing in the eastern senatorial district of Sokoto State. Meanwhile, the Sokoto State government is pledging additional support to security agencies fighting banditry in the state.
The Minister of State for Defense is in Sokoto State to assess the progress of the military operation in the state, which commenced over a month ago. The minister, in company of the Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, visits villages in Issa, Sabombrene and Goronyo, where he interacted with members of the communities.
It is the responsibility of the military to protect the territorial integrity of our nation. Therefore, it is our own responsibility to follow up to see what successes have we recorded. If you recall, our first visit to Sokoto, we recorded a lot of successes by eliminating some of the leaders of the bandits. And be rest assured that even this my visit, we are going to do more. We are going to bring some of them by any way, inshallah, whether to kill them or to bring them alive.
During the interactions, members of these communities lament the impact of bandits on their communities. However, the minister explains plans by government to establish military formations in the area. He solicits the support of Northwest governors.
The security challenges is not just for federal government alone. It is for all of us, including you, the media. Therefore, I call upon all the governors from the Northwest to come up together, to team up with the federal government so that we can achieve what our people give us the mandate to. The major issue in the Northwest is security. We all know it. Therefore, how are we going to team up to confront this criminal? It is a teamwork. We have to work together. We shall be ourselves, and we shall provide a good leadership to the citizens of this country.
You can see how they are waving, how people they were happy seeing the presence of the militaries. You understand, in the areas whereby in the past 4 to 5 years no official have ever visited. Today, alhamdulillah, we have visited that place. No official have ever visited that place, and nobody have ever ride along that road. But today, you understand, we have successfully passed through that side, you understand, and we are here.
The minister also interacted with troops operating in the region and encouraged them to continue the effort to curtail the activities of bandits in Nigeria's northwest.
The coalition of northern groups are raising concerns that most people in the north cannot afford a single meal per day due to ongoing insecurity and socioeconomic hardships in the region. This was disclosed during a one-day community engagement held in the state capital, chaired by Professor Sani Abubakar Luga, the 5th Wazirini Katsina. The engagement themed imperative of popular participation in tackling socioeconomic challenges bedeviling Nigeria through community solutions focused on addressing the region's issues. National coordinator of the coalition, Mr. Jamilu Charanchi, emphasized the severity of insecurity in the north and called for a lasting solution to the crisis. He also highlighted corruption as a key factor contributing to Nigeria's problems, including insecurity, economic hardship, and deteriorating infrastructure. He believes the nation is facing a leadership crisis, and the time for lamenting is over as citizens continue to suffer from these challenges daily.
The whole idea is to empower our women, give them means of empowerment for them to be able to feed themselves, feed their families. This was very deliberate because we have insecurity across the state, so we wanted to give them some set skill and empowerment that they will be able to be inside the house in the comfort of their homes and produce the noodles. This has set the bar for the rest of the term that we have in this administration to come up with more empowering initiatives for our women. We all know when you empower women, you empower the community. We have a lot of issue with gender-based violence. We have a lot of rape cases, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and this has become more rampant in the last couple of years. The judiciary system is actually trying its best, but what we've decided is we are going to start doing advocacy campaigns and sensitization to actually go into communities and talk about these gender-based violence. And we're looking for collaboration with our donor partners that are in Katsina to please come and collaborate with the ministry for us to be able to fight this fight.
The federal government has distributed over 17,000 bags of rice to vulnerable population in Jigawa State, northwest Nigeria. The distribution flag off by the Minister of Agriculture, Senator Abubakar Kyari, was aimed at reducing the impact of rising food prices. Our correspondent, Sadiq Ilyasu, reports.
The Honorable Commissioner for Special Duties, who gave
the Ministers of Agriculture and Food Security, along with the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, are in Jigawa State to launch the distribution of food items to vulnerable groups in the state. The distribution is aimed at providing relief to the destitute across the state following the rising cost of food items.
This food intervention can be said to be timely, considering the times and challenges we are in as citizens of this great nation. as one of the numerous efforts of the present administration to cushion the effect of high cost of food commodities, kindly join me to applaud the immense efforts of the present administration, such as the release of 42,000 metric tons of assorted food commodities from the Federal Government National Reserve, of which 1,728 metric tons of assorted food commodities and 24,000 bags of 25 kg milled rice, which was earlier donated to the vulnerable in Jigawa State by the federal government in March and April of 2024, just as stated by the Honorable Commissioner, Special Duties.
The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning outlines the federal government's plan to improve infrastructure in the region.
Mr. President had approved the inclusion of the Kano Maradi Railway, which passes through Kazauri, among the renewed Hope Infrastructure Fund project, so that the work can continue unimpeded, as well as supporting the completion of the Kano Dutse Railway.
Governor Umar Namadi of Jigawa State provides an update on the federal government's intervention in the state.
Today's occasion is the commencement of distribution of yet another palliative support in form of food commodities to the most needy household and other deserving vulnerable segment of population in Jigawa State from His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Specifically, it will involve the distribution of 17,420 25 kilograms of parboiled rice supplied by the federal government under the Presidential Food Assistance Program for vulnerable populations.
The beneficiaries include persons living with disabilities, internally displaced persons, farmer groups, student groups, and nursing mothers. Sadiq Ilyasu, Channels Television News.
To local government election matters, the Zamfara State Independent Electoral Commission, ZISEC, has set November 16, 2024 as the date for the local government elections in the state. The newly appointed chairman, Bala Aliyu Gusau, announced this after being sworn in by the state's chief judge, Justice Kulu Aliyu, represented by Mokhtar Yoshua of the Zamfara State High Court at the Government House in Gusau. Mr. Gusau informed journalists that the sale and return of expression of interest forms will begin from October 25, 2024 and end on November 1, 2024. He assures the public that the commission is fully prepared for the election. The chairman emphasized that ZITEC is operating in accordance with Law Number 4 of the Zamfara State Independent Electoral Commission and promises to keep the public updated on any further developments regarding the local council elections.
Law Number 4 of Zamfara State Independent Electoral Commission, and based on the powers conferred on me by that law, I hereby make the following announcement in respect of the forthcoming local government election 2024. The date of the election has been fixed for the 16th of November 2024. The election will hold on 16th November 2024. A time frame has been scheduled for the commencement of sales of forms for interested parties and individuals, and the date of completion and submission of those forms. The dates for the sales and completion of those forms fall within the 25th of October 2024 to 1st of November 2024.
The United Nations Children Education Fund, UNICEF, has set a target of registering 217,158 children in Zamfara State through the ongoing electronic birth registration for 2024. So far, about 147,000 children have been registered, and UNICEF is urging stakeholders to intensify efforts to meet the target by December. The manager of Child Protection at UNICEF Nigeria's head office in Abuja, Muna Aika, revealed this during the flag-off ceremony of the electronic birth registration.
The registration of children's births is crucial for protecting and advancing children's rights, which is why the Zamfara state government is mobilizing households to register their children. The wife of the Zamfara state governor, Huria Lawal, who flags off the electronic birth registration, expresses her commitment to ensuring a smooth registration process in the state. She encourages stakeholders to continue promoting and supporting the e-birth registration of eligible children.
Most importantly, birth registration is critical for the Nigerian's child survival, their health, education, social services initiatives, and development goals. Birth registration could simply refer to as a passport to a child's protection.
The chief of the United Nations Children's Education Fund, UNICEF, Sokoto Field Office, Michael Juma, and the manager of the Child Protection at UNICEF Abuja office, Muna Aika, highlights the importance of birth registration. They emphasize that it gives children access to quality education, healthcare services, social protection, and better water and sanitation.
To our elders, it's upon your duty as the duty bearers in the society to also mobilize the community and also provide appropriate correct information in terms of what it means to register a child, to have birth certificates, and how that helps the child to realize their full potential when they grow.
Now, if you look at the trend from 2018 to 2023, Nigeria has shown a significant improvement in the birth registration rate. From 2018, we've seen the birth registration stood at about 6 million children, and compared to 2023, where we really heightened the efforts with NPC and partners, the registration was at 11 million, just slightly over 11 million children registered.
The representative of the Federal Commission for the National Population Commission, NPC, in Zamfara State, Danjuma Musa, reiterates its commitment to raising awareness and mobilizing parents to register their children at birth, to provide them with official identities.
For this year's event, the commissioners are targeted to capture at least 270,158 yet unregistered children within the age of 0 to 5 years in the state.
Stakeholders at the event urge mothers to encourage others to secure e-birth registrations for their children, giving them an identity and ensuring their rights are protected.
The Kano State Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria is holding its Pharmacy Week with the theme Pharmacists Meeting Global Health Needs. The event begins with an awareness walk through major streets in Kano metropolis aimed at educating the public on how to identify genuine drugs and avoid counterfeit ones. Channel's correspondent Nanchin Vincent reports on other activities at the event, highlighting the efforts of pharmacists in Kano to combat drug abuse. Medical and security experts also participated, discussing strategies to reduce the high rate of drug abuse in the state.
It is the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria Week as Kano State branch joins their counterparts across the globe to celebrate the week while focusing on this year's theme, Meeting Global Health Needs, and the sub-theme, Drug Abuse and Crime in Northern Nigeria. This challenge in the north has remained on the rise despite several efforts to curb the menace, therefore the need for the fight to be taken to the streets. The week, which began with a walk and mass rally campaign, is aimed at sensitizing the populace on rational drug use.
One of the things we do is to make sure that our patients take safe and efficacious medications. So one of the things we are trying to highlight and bring the attention of the public is taking drugs that are only recommended or prescribed in the hospital by physicians, and also to make sure that we get these drugs where the government has approved, so that we safeguard our families, our children, in taking falsified medications and also fake drugs.
So many people have gone into the use of drug out of ignorance, out of different problems. So we have to share this information, teach them, sensitize them on issue of the use of drug and what it can lead to them. It can cut their future short.
Tackling the menace of drug abuse is meant to be strategic, as stakeholders agree, while looking at the devastating consequences of the scourge on society from the security and medical perspective.
By doing the right thing is following religiously the ethics of the profession. It is therefore my prayer that God should give us that moral ability, moral courage, at individual or collective level, adhere strictly to the ethics of these pharmaceutical professions.
Kano, when they say we are the center of drug abuse, it's not only Kano. We are servicing Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Chad, Libya from Kano. So if we can fight it here, honestly, we are going to help the whole West African coast. It's not only fight for Kano, it's for the whole Africa.
The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria Kano branch noted that it will continue on its efforts to contribute to healthcare from production, distribution, sales, and consumption. From Kano Commercial City, Nanchin Vincent, Channels Television News.
To politics now, Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State is urging members of the All Progressives Congress and supporters to ensure peace before, during, and after the local government election in the state. Represented by his deputy, Dr. Hadiza Balarabe, the governor made the call during the party's campaign in Lere, Sanga, Soba, and Ikara local government areas of the state. He is also optimistic that the APC will emerge victorious at the election.
The campaign train of the All Progressives Congress in Kaduna State is moving to the grassroots to solicit for votes ahead of the local government election in the state. The deputy governor is leading the campaign team to the local government areas, marking a significant turning point in the state's political landscape. In Ikara local government area, the deputy governor appeals to the people to come out and vote for the APC on election day.
We have appealed to the people to come out en masse on the 19th of October to vote for the APC. We're sure of our candidate, we know his capacity and we know his competence.
The campaign train also visited Soba and Lere local government areas. The party outlines their plan for the people.
Inshallah, I'm going to improve on the infrastructural deficit that we have in the local government, and agriculture has been the mainstay of Soba local government.
During the campaigns, the APC received decampees from other political parties.
We're 100% confident that APC is going to emerge victorious in the local government.
Elsewhere, the People's Democratic Party is accusing the State House of Assembly of plotting to amend the State Independent Electoral Commission election laws just a few days to the local government election.
The above Kaduna State government officials are officially saddled with the responsibility by Kaduna State government of doing all it takes to manipulate the outcome of the 19 October 2024 local government election in Kaduna State, including amending the above provision of Kaduna State local government electoral law, particularly as regards the venue of return or declaration of a winner of the election, both at the ward level and at local government level.
However, the House counters the allegation.
We, the members of this assembly, before we proceeded for our recess, we amended the SECOM law based on some issues that arose at that time. As we all know, that laws are dynamic in nature. Even the National Assembly, after every election cycle, there is need to amend the laws to suit the prevailing circumstances.
Nevertheless, the state government is urging all residents to bear in mind the need for peaceful coexistence in the state.
And that's it on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iriwu. Stay safe.